Welcome back to episode 2 with the world-renowned, famous Trevor Hall.
Yeah, I'm not famous, chances, but I'm
5,000 views on his...
I am Robin to his Batman.
5,000 views on his first reel published on Instagram in a long time.
I would like to take credit for that, but Chance did all the work. I just sat here and said some things, and somehow he made a clip that was great. So thank you, Chance.
I will take credit because I'm really good at helping people express themselves. I'm the producer, bro.
You are a producer.
I'm the producer. It's just, this face, people think I belong in front of the camera. I belong behind the camera.
No, I've told you all the time. You need to be in front of the mic.
Most people say I have a face for radio.
This is New Era Radio.
New Era Radio.
This is New Generation Radio. You're going to thank your sponsor or you're just going to pound drinks while you're there? Kirkland Sparkling Water.
That's right. Episode 2 of our podcast, sponsored by the one and only Hall & Associates. Money and shit.
Yep. Pay less taxes.
And Chance Vanek, Simply Vegas. Looking to buy or sell a home? Give me a call. And of course, Pipe Dreams Plumbing. Handling plumbing nightmares like a dream come true. Now that we've paid the bills, what are we talking about today?
Have we? A lot of run through. I was going to bring a short story from when I basically went from working at a firm to starting my own company. Run through some basics of it. We can chit chat on it, but not that everyone should be starting a business, but I think there's some people have those aha moments or that moment of change. And if anyone can resonate with it, or if they're in their own situation dealing with something like this, and they're like, oh, I want to think like that. Hopefully there's a tool in what we run through that's useful for them. So I'll go through one of those scenarios. I was working at a local accounting firm, awesome firm. Some of the best experience I ever got was there. Maybe 20 professionals working there, a decent mid-sized local firm. I had climbed the ladder to a certain point. They'd given me a lot of opportunities. So I was really working on stuff that was a lot larger than what I would for my normal time in the field. And I appreciate that. But also, I was hustling and working and studying all the stuff I need to be able to perform it and do great work. So my senior had left. I'd stepped into her position. And in the accounting realm, it goes junior, senior, manager, partner. Everyone wants to be the partner. That's a long time, and hope you can get there. I had already been junior. I moved into senior. So the next thing I'm looking at is manager. And it's like a pyramid. There's less of those people as you go up. So here I'm working at the firm. There's 2 managers. They're not going to swap out very often. There's maybe 6 people in front of me for that position. And I'm just working as a senior. Now, I'd been there for a short period of time, nothing too crazy, but enough that I felt like I'd established myself. I had a book of business I was handling. I could talk to the clients. I could create new work. I was adding lots of value. I didn't have any issue creating the revenue I needed for my pay. I was covering. I could hit that just fine. But I was looking at where was I going to progress, and I'm like, I don't know how I basically leapfrog these people. That was a short of what it was going to be.
Okay.
Either that or is there another method? So I've been in that space for a little while, and I decided I wanted to talk with the main partners. He was cool. I said, hey, can I chat to you? He said, yeah. He came into my office, closed the door. We're having a talk, and I'm like, how do I progress here? I see where I'm at. I'm going to get to a certain level. Not that I was saying it to him, but there had been a lot of other people prior to me being in the senior position that had got to the senior position, worked it for a while, and then ultimately left the firm. Call the reasons what you want. And always the reason inside is different than the reason outside, but there's reasons that they left. So I'd seen some of this pattern happening where, to me, it was like people got to a certain point and they capped out. There wasn't anywhere else for them to go, so they had to leave. And honestly, I wanted to stay there. When I came in, I was a lifer. Like, I'm going to be at this company. So I asked him, like, hey, here's all this. I'm putting it out on the table. Here's my concerns. I want to progress. What's my path? And he pauses for a minute, thinks about it, and he says, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. And I didn't get anything else besides that. Ran through the conversation and he left. So I'm driving home, pondering this conversation, and I get home, I kick the door open, I'm sitting there, I'm just running this through my head. And the thought that came to my head was, can you trust your professional development to someone that doesn't have your best interest in mind? And I was like, I can't. And as soon as I had that thought in my head, it's like, you're going to leave. Like,
Right.
I don't want to leave, but I know that that's my path. And that's what started the catalyst for me looking at other things. And it wasn't that he had ill intent for me. He didn't.
Okay.
I was a good employee. He liked where I was, but there wasn't a path for me to go forward. And he monetized really well if I just stayed in that position and was happy. And so he was telling me to be happy. But as a professional, I was stuck. I was pigeonholed at that point to that one position, and I was going to stay.
Yeah.
And I wanted to develop and advance, and there wasn't an opportunity for me there. So that's basically the catalyst that made me, hey, let's shift out. Let's run my own thing, which is a scary, wild space. But I think a lot of times in the current work environments, or people that, right now they say people are jumping jobs a lot and switching around, and they're looking for opportunities and people that want to train them or people that want to invest in them. I feel like that's a sentiment that comes up a lot. Like,
Sure. What made you think to yourself that guy didn't have your best interest in mind?
It was looking at all the other people that were stuck and left, seeing the consistency of that pattern.
Okay.
And when he told me, just keep doing what you're doing, I looked at the other people, and they were doing the keep doing what you're doing. And they didn't have a route, and ultimately they left. And so I look at it going, ultimately that's my path. Do I wait for that to happen, or do I take control now and pick a different route?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. That's interesting. I have a similar situation that happened to me when I was very new into the trade, and I wanted to expand my knowledge, and I wanted to start taking classes like plan reading classes and architecture classes, because I didn't go through the apprenticeship through the union. It was just on the job training. And I had brought that to the attention of the owner, and he's like, "Oh, you don't need that stuff. You're going to learn it all here, da, 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 da." And later on, I kind of felt that maybe he didn't have my best interest in mind. But now I'm still very good friends with him, and I do look up to him and respect him. But he also just didn't have the mindset of like more growth beyond that. So he had no place. So he thought, you're doing maybe like that did.
Yeah, it sounds very similar. It has the same feel.
So he's like, well, everything's going great. This is great. Yeah, you're doing great. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. But you just had bigger plans than him.
Yeah. And I would say there's no ill intent on the boss. Awesome boss, great at what he did. And I could have stayed there and worked just like that. He didn't take any opportunity away from me.
Yeah.
But as far as where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, I was trying to communicate that. And when that path didn't agree, it's like, well, now's the time to split.
Yeah, man, that's a really sticky situation, because you had in mind, you said you were going to stay that you were a lifer, right? You were going
came on
for
that
it.
way.
You're going to go all the way up. And I need to apologize. I didn't swap out your chair. You still have the squeaky chair. But
hopefully it doesn't show up on the mic.
It does it. It does it. Thank goodness. But you were a lifer. You were putting all your best effort into that and hoping that leadership would have your best interests in mind, which in their mind, they probably did. Again, I don't think there was any ill intent, like you were saying. Like, I don't think that gentleman had towards me, but just you had bigger plans, man. Yeah. And you saw bigger than them. So let's comparison though. Compared to where you have been since you're, I would say, somewhat semi-retired. I don't know. What do you call yourself right now?
I'd say it's semi-retired.
Semi-retired. Did you exceed that person in the business, in the career, or?
Honestly, from size, no.
No. Okay.
But as far as everything I wanted to achieve, what my initial goals were and where I ended up, I blew the doors off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he runs a bigger firm.
Yeah.
He's been established longer, around longer. And to be fair, my goal was never to be that.
Yeah.
And I respect that he's done that, because it does take a lot of work to get there.
Sure. Bigger isn't always better.
No. One thing I did want to say too is, a lot of times when you're investing work, or people lose motivation, they'll be at a job and they'll be like, oh, I don't like this job anymore. And so there's that, let's say that quiet quitting, or I'm just going to sit at my job and minimize the work. There's a real, you take with you the experience you have. So the more work you can do on the more accounts you can do, the more experience that you use in your profession at whatever next thing you're doing, or your own profession. So when you minimize the amount of time you're putting in, you're actually limiting your own growth.
Right.
And so I know that that's a popular space too, but it almost comes from I'm upset at this person not giving me the pay I want or giving me the way. And so I'm going to sabotage myself actually, but it feels like I'm hurting them. But really what you do is sabotaging your own professional development. So that was just one of the things I'd put out there too. If you're in that space and you're feeling like it's tough for you, reset and look at what am I learning? What am I getting of education out of the space I'm working at right now? What can I do to do more of that? Because even if you are like, hey, I'm going to switch, but let me not lose my job before I say I want to switch. In that window that you're still there, look for ways that you can maximize your education, your growth, your development.
Sure.
That should always be number one. The job is there, but it changes it from being, I hate going to work because I'm working for this guy and I don't like how it is. And it changes the mentality to, I'm going to work on myself.
Sure.
I'm working on something else. But when you go in positive, you're going to get way more out of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I couldn't imagine. And I think that's why so many people, when you go to businesses, give horrible service because they've already given up, because they believe that there's nowhere for them to go. They're just putting in the minimal amount of energy to get through the day.
Yeah.
So they can get on with whatever else is going on in their life. But yeah, man, it builds bad patterns too. If you're just going to a place 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, doing enough to just get by, that's going to transfer into other areas of life, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Same into transferring into working on that other thing you're working on, whether it's making your own business or going out and filling out more applications to get to a better job, place of employment. It's what do they call it? Trickle down or something, right? Like habits, bad habits.
Yeah, they do.
I guess how you do anything is how you do everything. Do you believe in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's bad to get in that bad mindset.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't that job, if it was you at your house working on one year, would you be that lethargic about it? Would you be that half committed to it?
Well, that's actually... You are in my house right now. It is falling apart. My house is falling apart.
Do you hear this chair?
You hear the chair. Don't go out in the living room. You don't want to see everything. This house is falling apart. I didn't even put up my...
There's no smoke detector in the studio.
Well, yeah. It was chirping the other night, so I took it down, and I have a new one sitting in... I have 12 new ones sitting in the garage.
You wouldn't just leave it up chirping?
But if you look up my reputation in the business area, you'll see I'm very, very thorough. I guess I kind of just relax when I come to my sanctuary.
It's that type of bad habit, like you were mentioning, that you commit to allowing that, however you justify it. But the one that you're actually damaging is yourself, because you are creating a habit pattern in yourself that this is acceptable.
Yeah.
It could go to your next job. It can go when you go home. And I'm not saying... for whatever reason, you don't like your boss. I'm not saying like your boss. Maybe you have a bad boss. Mine were great. I got a lot of experience, but let's say for some reason you don't. You don't go there to make the business profitable for them or whatever you feel like you're being taken advantage of. You have to remove yourself from that and separate yourself and say, I'm going for myself. I'm going to make myself as useful and learned experience, education, whatever it is that you're going to get from that position as possible for the time that you're in it. Now, yeah, your boss may monetize off of that. But if you shoot yourself in the foot, you're really holding yourself back.
Sure,
and I think in today's world, it's becoming more and more common, especially with the social media space, saying, "Hey, I'm doing it too, and you're doing it too. Let's all do it."
Yeah.
One of the concepts I like from workspace, everyone wants to be the 1%.
Okay.
Go on social media and everyone's like, "Look, I made all this money," and everyone's like, "You can do it too." And so everyone's like, "Hey, I'm going to be the 1%. I'm going to be the 1%." But most of us are average. And I will tell you that I always shoot like I'm trying to be 1%. But if you look at my accomplishments in life, I'm average in most. Sure. I tell everyone I'm a statistic. I work really hard and end up just being a statistic.
Right.
Odds are that's what we're going to have. I tell people, work like you think you're the 1%, but set your expectations on the average.
Yeah.
And then when things don't work out, you won't be let down because that kills your drive. And if you really are working like a 1%, it's going to work at some point.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but it's going to work at some point. Now imagine that you give up trying to be the 1%. You're like, not only going to be average, I'm going to be less than average. and what are you hoping for? Where are you going to get with that mentality? So I think the win is work like you're a 1%er, like you're the amazing everything, but set your expectations on average so you don't lose your motivation or your drive. But you're going to have things that kick in that space.
Yeah.
You have to play the numbers. You have to keep pushing forward and wait for it to be your moment and then capitalize.
Yeah. Well, what even is 1%? What is the 1% these days?
It's nuts.
Yeah. I guess, well, I don't know. Well, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. Great point.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy.
So if anything, I think let's help people get in a positive mindset about their situation and what they're in and how to make it positive for themselves rather than look at the negatives and really back off the gas on your own development.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. 1% better every day.
I'm a little bit better today than I was.
Yes, you're very funny. I'm a little bit better today than I was yesterday. I love it.
It's true.
I love it. Well, man, I don't know. When you said that about striving to be the 1% and most people are just average, if even average, that's kind of what you said, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it anyways because I know he's caught some heat in the recent past, Will Smith. But I did see a wonderful reel, him talking about his son. And he's like, man, why don't you, your grades, you know? Why are you always getting B's? He's like, oh, I could get A's if I wanted. He's like, I could get straight A's. And the point Will Smith's like, I don't think you could. Because the difference from being good and great, you know, it seems like it's that much, but the gap is...
It is a lot.
So to go from top 10 to top 5 to top 1%, the jumps get exponential. Even though it's a small percentage, that's why...
I'm a numbers guy. You're speaking truth.
That's why you exactly have the greats, bro. That's why for things to line up in the world of sports or any profession, any business, there might be a little bit of luck. Obviously, some people are smarter than others, some whatever it may be. But to be the 1% or the very, very top, it's very special. And it's a huge leap from everyone else. Yeah. You know, like for instance, can you grab me that glove? Oh, nice. This guy, McGregor, Conor McGregor. Like, I'm going to jump into a little bit of MMA now.
Why not?
Since tonight I will be going to the Extreme Couture amateur MMA team tryouts.
You're going to go
46 years old.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. 7 p.m. Show up if you want to see a blood bath.
I need to go film and then post as a follow-up to this video some of the footage. That's got to happen.
But I've kind of always been a fight fan my whole life. My dad was huge into boxing. My grandfather, my stepfather, Mike Tyson, probably one of my first heroes. I cried when he lost his first match. I literally sat in my living room and cried while my dad's friends were singing around me laughing. But like for things like that to happen, you do have to be great. But especially like Conor McGregor, I think, well, me personally, I thought he was like a hype train, right? I didn't even get behind him for the longest time. I don't think it was until he knocked out Jose Aldo.
I would agree. That was the turning point for me too, because that guy was legit, and it was so destructive, so fast. I'm like, that's not chance. I mean, it looked like it was, but
it was so amazing. And then I became a fan. And then on top of just his MMA career, what he did outside of that business-wise. Like, you know, I am a nerd, a business nerd. If I see a celebrity, I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. But if I see like a successful business guy, like I met a very successful business guy at a wedding I was at, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you're so-and-so? Like, I know of you. And it was a very obscure business that most people would have no idea what it is. But me being, you know, in development and construction, I knew the name, and I was like blown away to be meeting this guy. So like that awesome. Excites me. But going back to all of this, like to be that 1%, it's very difficult, right? I know I got way off track going with the 1%.
We'll come back on 1%.
Yeah.
There's a statistic, and I won't get into it, just a lot of books I read on self-development, but they were talking about how poor people don't have enough money to get by for their living, food, rent, whatever it is. They're in debt, and things are tight, and things aren't good. But somehow always still have money to buy lotto tickets. Like they do the statistics of where do the majority of the lottery ticket purchases come from? And it's from the super, super poor.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so one of the mentality things there that you really have to break out of is they're in the box thinking, I'm poor. Mm-hmm. I work my day job. They don't feel like they have a way out. The lotto is the only way. And they don't have money. That lotto money, odds of winning are super low. They could put towards their own financial situation and probably get a little better. Mm-hmm. But they waste it every time on the lotto, hoping to win that thing. And that's their only hope for change.
Interesting.
And I go back to that 1% point. You can get really stuck in a box that like, if I can't be the 1%, then I don't want anything else. Mm-hmm. You have the ability to make a change in your life. Find something that you're good at. Go be passionate about it. Go make the money. You have to make a switch, and there's risk there, and it's bold. You have to do it. But if you say, well, I'm just going to wait here for the 1% chance to magically happen to me.
Yeah.
You stall. You stop making decisions. You stop taking active things you could do to progress yourself.
Yeah.
And that's that 1% mentality. It's like you want to work like you're the 1%.
Yeah.
Expect the average. But as soon as you stop trying for that, you're shooting lower. What are you going to end up with now? below mediocre.
Right. That's interesting you say that, because for the longest time, I felt that way. Like, you said if you can't be the 1%, you just might as well give up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, well, I guess it all comes together, but like shopping for cars, I was like, I don't freaking care. If I can't have a Ferrari, get the damn Kia, you know?
There better be a lot of likes off of that one. Everyone can feel that. I'm a car guy. I hate not being able to have the fancy stuff.
Right. Like if it ain't a Ferrari, I don't freaking care. Get the Kia minivan, I guess. Which, by the way, that Kia minivan was amazing. Took a lot of great family trips in that thing.
Honda Odyssey was our favorite, and we put miles on that thing. People that hate minivans, I mean, they are so functional.
Yeah. Minivans are functional.
I'm not mad at them.
But dude, I think that was really good motivational stuff, what you were just saying right there about, if they can't have the 1%, then they just give up. And then it's that mindset, working hard, keeping the motivation going, keeping the energy flowing. What's his name? Lewis Howes? Is it School of Hard Knocks or something like that? Is that what it is? Is that his name of his podcast?
I know there is a podcast with that name.
Yeah, anyways, he had this, I'm assuming this billionaire guy, he looked really cool. I shouldn't say assume. I should do research before we have these conversations so I can...
We're winging it.
Yeah, legitimately. That's what I enjoy about this. It's for me. And this is therapy
raw.
to sit and talk with my friend. And then one day I'll look back at this when I'm an old man and be like, oh, look at me, Trevor. Anyways, he was talking to this guy, successful business guy, much older. And he said, small goals bring small energy. And don't expect anything great to happen. Big goals bring big energy and big things happen. And that kind of goes right back to what you were saying about work as you're trying to be the 1%. Have a 1% dream. Like a 1% dream. I don't think people understand that because we throw around these numbers on the internet so crazily. I don't know about your freaking algorithm on the Instagram, but my algorithm is hundreds of millions of dollars a month generating business. And I'm like, holy shit. Makes me feel in the, I guess, 99%.
Nah.
No?
It's funny, but most small business owners would fall in the top 5%.
Top 5%.
Like it doesn't take a lot to break into that. And that's still a minority of the group.
Well, Gary Vee, I think he said one time, top 1% is over like 450,000 income a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not in that group.
That's 1%. But if you go down to 5, it's a lot less. And if you have
But I'm coming for you.
Let's do it.
Trevor's like, it's good to have goals. Make them realistic. Just kidding.
Let's touch goals because you're talking about, small goals or small things, small energy.
Let's do it.
I did business consulting for a period of time because I was stuck in certain things in my business, learned a lot of things. One of the things he made me do was to have a range of goals. So I had a bunch of small term, some mid, and some long term. And he made me write crazy stuff on there. Like, what's a wild dream you have? And I'll tell you, 2 things at the top of the list was one was fully restoring my Chevelle, which was always in the garage, half apart, and never had any money to finish doing it, or time for that matter. And the second was I wanted to go to Spain with my family and be able to pay for first class tickets and go with everyone. So not just my immediate family, but like the in-laws family.
Oh,
too.
nice.
Both of those things have happened.
Yeah.
But
I've seen it.
If you don't put it on the list, you start with all the small stuff, and the small stuff will get you rolling. And what will happen is an opportunity will come up, and if you don't have that on there, you'll use the opportunity for something else. But if you have it on your goals list and you're looking at it regularly, the opportunity will come up, and you'll be like, now is my chance to do the thing I've always said I was going to do.
Yes.
And you'll stay true to yourself, and you'll knock it out. And that is so motivating for the next set of goals you put up.
I love that. I'm getting so sidetracked off of you talking about the Chevelle. I instantly thought about when you were burning out. Guy. When you were burning out in the parking lot at Syndicate, and the wheel fell. I had so much power. Bigger engine. We need more power.
I took some young kids. I would say that I was like in a mentor capacity to them in the church for a while. I took them out hot rodding around the neighborhood out in Mountain's Edge, and around the last corner on the street before we turned into our neighborhood, we're peeling out around the corner. Wheel just comes off and runs down the street.
How many times did that happen?
That was worse though. It snapped the studs right up. You're always trying to find the weak part when you're adding all that power.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah, that car was great, but man.
On your vision board,
I got rid of
the
it.
Chevelle,
keep the tires on.
The tires on.
That's the high one. I just want the tires to stay on. Man.
2 times. I had no idea. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that car was fun, but yeah, no.
Well, okay. As a former business consultant, let me ask you this, because this is a limiting belief and probably BS that I've told myself. I can't do that because I'm one of those people who, if I need to do something to get to that upper level, I have to be obsessed with it, right? I have to focus all my energy on it, and everything around me sacrifices. I sacrifice everything around me to try to achieve that one thing. For instance, just like I said last week, the night I got my black belt, the first opportunity my wife had to speak with me when no one was around, the first thing she said is, "Are we done yet?"
Yeah.
Because I get obsessed. So I was like, I can't do that because I'm a family man now. You know, I have my wife, my children. I need to be present for all those things.
Let's take that and work the other side of it. Black belt was on my goal list too. Mm-hmm. Took me another 8 years past you to get to that.
Right.
But it was on my goals list.
Mm-hmm.
The priority of what I could do to it, it had to take time. Mm-hmm. So it really is the focus you do on it. There is nothing wrong with having it at the list and it taking a really long time to get to. Almost sometimes feeling like you're never going to get to it. But I'll tell you what, it never came off the list.
Yeah. How do you spread that energy over, say, I have a goal to build this business to $100 million exit, right? How do you, instead of just working 16, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, not taking breaks, lunches, missing family?
I can't take credit for this, but the answers all come from my coach, and it's the same for everybody else.
I want to hear it.
So first, you start with the small goals, and they'll keep you motivated because the long goal, when it takes a whole long time and you want to focus on it all the time, maybe you can't. It's harder for you to stay engaged with that goal. So what you have to do is take the large goal, especially what he would tell me when I come and if I didn't meet a goal, it didn't matter if it was a short or long range goal, I wouldn't meet it. He would give him the why. I'd give him the why. And what he would say is break it up into smaller steps, break it up into smaller steps, even smaller steps. So if you have that really big goal and you're trying to get there, let's say, for example, it was the black belt. I could say, I want to compete. Or maybe before I even compete, I want to be able to attend class 3 times a week. Or I want to start some weight training. Or I want to get my weight to certain X. So you could pick any number of things that's a smaller step, and you could focus on that. And it's not going to be all encompassing like the top thing. And then once you get that one step, you'll pick your next small step. So you're not really accomplishing the huge goal in one go. You're doing it in blocks.
Gotcha. And you can only do so much in a day. Like, it probably loses your effectiveness after you've invested, I would say, 4 solid hours of like focusing on something.
Yeah.
Like, do you really need to work 18 hours a day?
So one of the
12
other
hours
things,
a day?
this is super OCD, but it works for me. Not that it's going to work for everybody else, but he would have you break your day up into blocks. So you'd have a calendar, and whatever your goals were, I'm running a business, so it's like I have to spend a certain amount of time generating revenue. I have to spend a certain amount of time working with new leads or new clients, a certain amount training the team members, and some that's just on development. Like I have to look at what new tech and software is out there to stay ahead of the curve, so we have it developed and in the company in time. So I would break out my day how I wanted those things spent. Clearly, the days don't go like that. So when it changes, and that block I was supposed to do on development, I was working with a team member instead. I have to switch it for another spot in the week. And then at the end of each week, you hold yourself accountable that you didn't just hijack. You planned the week, and it should work. But if you hijack it a whole bunch, you're the problem. The reason you're not achieving your goals is because you mapped out how to balance it all. And then when the opportunity comes up, you procrastinate.
Right.
And so part of it is having a schedule. Another one is holding yourself accountable to it.
Yeah.
But if you have blocks every week, let's say this 2-hour block is for me to work on my goals. And maybe the first few weeks you procrastinate and don't get to it because, again, you don't have that habit cycle. But you make yourself you send an alarm. You tell a friend, hey, call me in this window and ask me if I'm working on whatever you need to make you start that process. And then you start working on your goals. And if it's a big goal, work on small stuff.
Right.
But all of them, if you regularly have time to focus and work on your goal, and you have small to large so that you have some you can spread around, you're going to hit all of them. You're consciously looking at them. What a lot of people have is aspirations, and they don't write them down. And there is a huge value to writing them down and seeing them regularly, and the fact that you actually accomplish them. It dramatically increases the rate.
Yeah, I like it. And it's funny because I'm saying these things about, somewhat, they're excuses. I'm saying these excuses, and as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit you're telling yourself. You can do it.
You want to hear a Jamie quote?
Please.
One of my favorite Jamie quotes?
Yeah.
You can make excuses or you can win.
Ooh, that's a good one. You want to hear my favorite Jamie quote?
Already? Yes. It's got to be good.
It was something along the lines of, I was like, oh man, I have to be there, for the team or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I feel so horrible that got to do this. And he looked at me and he said, Chance, you're not that important.
Did it help?
Oh yeah. Dude, it helped
like, I feel
tremendously
better now?
with so many things in life. I'd be like, oh, I got to go. They need me to be there. I got to RSVP. I got to go. Da, da, da. I'm like, I'm not that
You
important.
hear Jamie in your head. You're like, and now I can relax.
Yeah,
I've taken the burden off.
No.
Jamie has some gems.
Yes, he's a very wise man. Very wise man. But seriously, I say these things and I say them out loud to you. And then as soon as I say it out loud and I listen to other people talk about them, I'm like, yeah, it's an excuse.
It's an excuse.
Yeah,
but getting
be a
motivated
sissy.
is a real thing. The excuses come when you have failures. And you have to be okay. Failures are going to happen. You can't beat yourself up over them, but you do have to hold yourself accountable to what am I going to do to change that? Mm-hmm. And that's why I think looking at the goals regularly is going to help.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe if you need some motivation, watch our podcast and we'll keep telling you.
Yeah.
Have you done it yet?
Do you want to mention who your coach was? Your business coach or?
No, only because of the affiliation they were through. He doesn't work at the company anymore.
Oh.
And I don't want to cross any conflicts,
Oh, gotcha.
but he was great.
He was great. Is he still in this business?
He's running his own thing.
Okay.
But I did it through the group that he was with.
Yeah.
Was Action Coach.
Okay.
And they're a great group and they have a whole bunch of coaches, but this is my thing. He was what made it great. He was using their techniques and their techniques were good.
Yeah.
But when he had vacations or different things, as I worked with other coaches,
Yeah.
they weren't on the level that he was.
Yeah.
And I've had other people that have went there as well that worked with other coaches. So the methods work well, but you really need to have a coach that connects with you.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, coaching is expensive.
Yeah.
And I did it for a certain period of time because it made me change my habits to hold myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But really, once I got to the point that I was holding myself accountable, I didn't need it anymore.
Interesting.
And that's when I cut it off. And I still use the same methods of writing out the goals, periodically checking in on it, holding myself accountable, changing them if I need smaller ones. I literally hear him saying the same stuff.
Yeah.
It really becomes patterns at some point.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need it all the time. And honestly, when it works into our conversation, I'm going to share as many of those facts as I can just out to the general public so they can pick them up and use them too.
I love them. I love stuff like that. I could sit and listen to people talk about
Business
productivity and all that stuff all day long, man. I love it. I need to implement it. I do implement a lot of things, actually. A lot of things that I learn and have helped me be self-employed for the last 12 years in December.
What made you decide you wanted to be self-employed?
Well, I wanted more money, and I was tired of asking for more money and hearing excuses. So, like, I just wanted the accountability. Like, hey, okay, if it's going to be anyone's fault, it's going to be my own.
And, and scary as hell making the jump?
It wasn't. It's scary now, 12 years later, with 2 kids, crazy economy. It's scarier now, 46 years old versus 34 years old.
Yeah. Well, and extra responsibilities. I would say that the family environment makes taking the risks a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when I get worried and scared, I just remember you can't go back to working for anyone, right? Because I'll never be able to make the amount of money I want to make working for someone. So I envision myself like in a car driving really fast, man, and there's like a cop behind me. And I'm like, I can't go back there, man. And someone's in the passenger seat like, what are you doing? Slow down. I'm like, I'm not going back there.
You're like, your business doesn't make any money. You have to go get a job. You're like, I'm not going back.
Whatever we have to do, man, I ain't going back to that place.
Yes.
And that's what you have to do sometimes, at least for me, I think you're kind of, I don't know. I've have small business, and for me, there's always ups and downs every day, but I think that's in any business, right?
Yeah. There's a Kevin Ross line that I really like. I don't know if you follow him.
Huggy Bear.
Muay Thai space. Mm-hmm. He's freaking great to watch fight, period. He's honestly probably my favorite. But he has a line, face your fears, live your dreams. Mm-hmm. And he's always promoting that. I've heard it a bunch of times. It echoes in my head a lot. And there was a point towards the end before I sold out my business where I was looking at other ways to make revenue, especially in the accounting space. But because I was so buried with work, and there's really an issue in accounting finding enough employees. There's a labor shortage, and there has for 5 years. So you're overworking. Because you're overworking, you can't take other opportunities. And selling the practice when it was profitable and everything was good, and I was still at a young age and I still had young kids, and saying, I'm going to switch into this other thing and trust that I can still make money sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy. But it really is that, are you really passionate that you want to do this other thing? And are you going to take that steps necessary? Because it is scary. And honestly, when I did it, that's what I felt like I was doing. Like his phrase came to mind, like, this is scary as hell, but if you want it, you have to take that step.
Right.
And I think a lot of times in business, that's what happens when you're starting a small business. It's like, I have this income.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen here?
Sure.
That step is bold.
Yeah.
It is scary. You can save up I saved up money. I thought I had enough. And within 3 months, I was working off credit cards and credit lines because all of my plans did not work out how I thought at all.
Oh my gosh.
But in the long run here, I ran a company and it was great and I sold it and yay.
Boom. And
But yeah, it's not roses when you start.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously there's good times, and then did you have difficulties too throughout the 12 years that you were in business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started the year before the housing market tanked.
Oh, okay.
So I started in 07 and then in 08, everything was collapsing. And so even if you could get work to do, it was, would they pay you? Because everyone's cash flow locked up because everyone was scared.
Right.
That's like the worst time to ever start a business. But it made me learn to run a company really efficient and lean. I don't think I was so focused on it until I had to. Coming out of that, keeping it really lean is what really made the business successful. So I look at it and I go, that was a miserable experience. And no one should ever start a business right before it collapsed. Like, that's the worst time ever to do it.
Oh my gosh.
But the tools I picked up from it really led to success. And I'd say a lot of times that's what happens. Like, hard times or trials sometimes spur some of the best innovation.
Sure.
It makes you're either going to give up or you're going to double down and try to find a better version of yourself or the method that you're using. And I've always liked that challenge.
Yeah.
When things get hard, I step away from it for a minute, remove the emotion, and I'm like, okay, what's this going to take to get done? Or is there another way around? And that creativity in business of how can I find another way? That's the drive for me. That was what was fun in work was how can I come around these problems and make it better?
Sure. I think this misconception that humans have, modern day humans have, is that everything is supposed to be easy. That's like not where we're from. Like not too long ago, you had to like fight for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and kill for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was really hard to live. Now, you don't even have to get out of bed and you can have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner delivered to you.
To your house.
And it's horrible food that's not even meant for our body to digest.
That's another whole long topic, yes.
You know, so I'm going to start, that's why I'm going to the MMA tryouts tonight. Because you got to do hard shit.
I agree.
Do new things.
I agree.
This may be my last
I'll carry it on. Chance with a big purple eye. Let's go. We're sponsored by steaks.
But no, serious. I'm being 100% serious about that. Like, I reflect so much on jiu-jitsu. That's why I got into Muay Thai and now transitioning into MMA. And I'm not saying this to become a fighter. It's for physical fitness and
the challenge of it.
Mental and the challenge. Yeah. Because, you know, like in jiu-jitsu, especially the better you get, the lazier you get, you know, like, oh, I'll just pull guard and sit here in my half guard.
You say that, but I'm rolling with you and Jamie and I'm still getting work. So right. I don't know if I'll let you know when I get to that spot.
Yeah, same could be said. Like when I roll with Greg and other people, you know, or Vinny, it just doesn't matter. But you get lazy, man. And especially in sport jiu-jitsu, which is my background.
Yep.
And I just saw a wonderful, and I reference social media all day long because I spend way too much time on it. But I saw a wonderful clip of Joe Rogan and Gordon Ryan talking about this. It's kind of like this unspoken rule of one guy's going to go on bottom, one guy's going to go on top, and it's going to be patty cake, patty cake. I try to pass your guard.
Yeah.
You try to regard. Someone tries to submit each other, patty cake, patty cake. You're never trying to get up. I don't really even have to hold you down. I just have to pass the guard and submit you.
It's not real jiu-jitsu.
And that's why they were saying like jiu-jitsu is like one of the worst backgrounds to go into MMA with because of that.
The bad habits.
Yes. And it is such a bad habit. And that's why I'm now doing MMA because you take an MMA guy down, bro. Good luck holding them down.
Look at the wrestler MMA guys that then come into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Dude, they will not stay on the ground.
No. Rich.
It is that's who I was thinking of. That's exactly what I was thinking of. You cannot get that guy to stay on the ground. Like, it is a battle. You're like, why will you not be on the ground?
Yeah, I know. And it's a bad habit to have.
It is.
It's a bad habit to have. So tonight, if you want some live entertainment, be at Extreme Couture, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Watch the amateur MMA team tryouts. I will be there.
That sounds excellent.
I know. I can't believe I'm doing this.
I will bring you guys content. You better get through. You got skills. You should.
I'll get through. And if I do talk about it, I'm not gonna.
Is the end boss Greg?
I don't know what happens, dude. I honestly don't know what
They're
happens.
like, this is your final challenge. Greg walks around the corner with his gloves on, ready to go.
Coach Juan's been promoting it for like the last 2 weeks, and I was like, "What's the age cutoff?" He's like, "There is no age cutoff. King David's 45, and he just won a belt." I'm like, "He's a pro. This is amateur. What's the age cutoff?" He's like, "Just show up."
Do it.
Okay, let's go.
it.
Let's go.
You are going to hurt some young dude's pride, showing him that there's levels, and he doesn't realize yet.
God, MMA is different.
Some
dude.
hungry 25-year-old's going to go against you, and you're going to mop him with some jujitsu he's not ready for.
Jiu-jitsu's way different when striking's involved. I'm
But
telling you.
You've been training in it.
I have, but I still feel like, I feel like white belt MMA, mixed martial artist.
I'm white belt MMA, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. What else should we discuss? How long have we been recording for? 41 minutes.
It's a long podcast.
It is a long podcast, but you do great talking. I need to come more prepared because I start rambling. I get off track. I apologize. I'm the producer. I'm not even supposed to be talking.
I do have a huge background in the tax and consulting space, and it's not just doing people's taxes, but financial statements, helping them buy and sell, doing forensic stuff, setting up controls. If there's something in that space that you guys would love for us to talk on, just put it in the comments, and we'll do it. I want to share as much experience as we can there, and if you have the question, there's probably some more people that want it and just haven't asked.
That's great.
And if not, we'll come up with some of our own ideas.
Yeah. There we go. Well, it's 2:30 now here in Las Vegas. I think that's accurate time. It sure is. I've got a few different voicemails that I need to answer and call people back. Trevor's got to go pick up his kids from school.
Yep.
It was great chatting with you again today, buddy.
It was good.
I appreciate you staying on top of me so we do this more regularly so I can become better doing this.
I appreciate you having just a whole entire studio in your house, and I just come over and here it is.
It's my man cave, bro.
It's a pretty dope man cave.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Well, thanks for coming out. Nice talking to you guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.